Hi, my name is Jim and I was retired. In this week's video, I'm going to review one of my retirement portfolio principles. A lot of people talk about the three bucket strategy, but what does it mean? I just saw another YouTuber that I follow, Ezul. He's a financial planner, and he talked why retirees need three tax buckets, but he was talking about three tax buckets. Christine Benz and others talk about three time buckets. But in this week's video, I'm going to review my DIY retirement portfolio, which uses three buckets times two. Let's review with my solo cups, which I've used in past videos about my portfolio. I have three time buckets. The first bucket is 3 years worth of expenses that will cover us in cash and equivalents. And then we have bucket 2, which has income producing assets that equal another 5 years worth of expenses. And then everything else is in bucket 3, growth equity investments that can take time to grow, and I really won't need to cash them out for 9 years or more. But I also have those three tax buckets. I have the taxable accounts, brokerage savings accounts. Most of our assets are in tax-deferred IRAs and 401k accounts. And we've started building up our tax-free accounts, the Roth accounts. I manage my assets through all of these buckets, and I'm going to show you again how I do that on my spreadsheet. Hey, before I start, please like and subscribe and then hit that bell if you like entertaining ideas from a DIY retiree. I'm not a professional. I'm not selling you a course. I don't want to manage your money. I'm simply sharing my perspectives to help you prepare for your own DIY retirement. So these are the actual charts from my portfolio by bucket spreadsheet with the latest numbers. I update it about weekly, and this is where it stands right now. Now, the charts all have my actual numbers, but of course, there are no dollar values on any of these charts. But you can see I have a way of looking at the asset allocations within the time buckets. The three time buckets, 22% is in bucket 1, 34% is in bucket 2, and 45% is in bucket 3 in our asset allocations. And in the three tax buckets, you can see that most of our retirement assets, 61%, are in tax deferred, 23% are in taxable, and because of some Roth conversions, we have tax-free up to 16%. Now, for you folks that are still preparing for retirement, if you have Roth options, do them. Now, this shows the tax allocations over here, and then I'll drill down in the three time buckets to show you how asset allocation and the tax bucket structure looks for each of them. Bucket 1, assets, cash and equivalents, are in mostly tax deferred and taxable, about 50-50 actually. So not everything is in the savings account at the bank. Bank and brokerage have about half of the assets. The other half of the assets are in tax deferred, queued up to take in the next couple years. But they're in income producing cash equivalents, treasury investments. In bucket 2, about 78% is in tax deferred, and about 22% are in like I-bonds and some other things that are in the taxable accounts. And you can see here that the bucket asset allocation in bucket 2 is large cap stock, but that is VIG, income producing dividend growth stocks. 11% in domestic bonds, about 5% in I bonds, 18% in tips, and 27% in treasuries. And many of these income producing assets, again, are in tax deferred, which is the asset location ideal spot for them. In bucket 3 classes, you can see that bucket 3 in the tax bucket structure includes the tax deferred, taxable, and all of the tax-free Roth accounts. Those assets, by their very nature, are in bucket 3. And you can see it's large cap stocks, international stocks, small cap stocks, and REITs. Investments that we hope grow over time. I have 2 more sheets on the spreadsheet that look at this bucket structure. And again, all of this generates from the prior sheets. So when you paste in your Quicken, it automatically updates all of your buckets. This shows you the asset allocation by the tax buckets, and this shows the allocation by the time buckets. So you can see bucket 1 is in mostly cash and equivalents. Bucket 3 is in high growth investments. I have one more chart here that shows the progress from about January 22 to now that shows you I've gone from about a 46% equity overall, 53% fixed income back in the early part of 2022 to now we're currently at about 58% equity, 42% fixed income. Bucket 3 is all equity now. Bucket 2 is split the other direction, 60-40 fixed income equity. And bucket 1 is all fixed income, cash and equivalents. Those are my buckets. So when you hear 3 buckets from me, I'm talking about 3 time and tax buckets. I will conclude with my standard warning. I am not a financial planner and I have no initials after my name. So take these as entertaining ideas from one educated consumer to another. Always do your own due diligence and seek out a professional if you need one.